What page was it?
Price is on page 15.
All right, good morning, Mr. Price. Sir, you're charged with driving while intoxicated. First offense, it's elevated to a Class A misdemeanor because of the high blow. We are going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, sir. Okay.
Thank you, Judge. On April 7, 2025, in Harris County, Texas, an officer was dispatched to a crash and observed a motor vehicle with damage that had struck a barricade. The officer observed the defendant to be the driver and sole occupant of the vehicle. The defendant was identified by his Louisiana driver's license, and the officer observed the odor of an alcoholic beverage, water and bloodshot eyes, slurred speech, and a disoriented demeanor from the defendant. The officer also observed swaying, staggering, and stumbling. The defendant admitted to consuming alcohol prior to driving and being the operator of the vehicle. SFSTs were conducted where the officer observed 6 out of 6 clues on the HGN, 7 out of 8 on the walk and turn, 3 out of 4 on the one-leg stand. The defendant consented to a breath test and blew 0.173 and 0.165.
Okay. Do you mind running an NCIC so we know his criminal history, see if he has any priors, and then whether the license is valid, please? Mr. Price, I'm going to find that there's sufficient probable cause to go forward with the case. I'm ordering you now, as a condition of your bond, not to consume alcohol, illegal drugs, or unprescribed controlled medication. I'm going to randomly test you. If I find that you're using, I will revoke your bond, put you in jail. No more PR bonds. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
This is a Louisiana driver's license, Your Honor. I'm not seeing on here where they state that it is valid or invalid, but there's nothing to suggest that it is invalid. As far as criminal history, don't believe he has any criminal history.
Okay. You are not allowed to drive unless you have a valid license and liability insurance in your name as well. And that is also a condition of your bond. Do you understand? If you do not have either, then you're not allowed to drive. And I'm going to take serious if, matters if you do. Do you have the ability to hire a lawyer?
Yes, I have an attorney.
You have an attorney now? What's going on? Oh, okay. So let's do this. We will wait for your lawyer to get here so that we can have him sign on and then get a date. For now, I'm going to have you go to Victoria, sign a reset. We'll have you go to pre-trial for your bond conditions and then just take a seat. Don't leave until your lawyer gets here. Okay?
Yes, sir.
Please.
Okay,
You want to,
Jail?
we may be able to meet
are you going to release today or not today?
Saturday.
I'm not doing, not if, if you're saying time served,
That's what the city, but of course we want
it's a second and he's got bond violations, it's like he's going to wrap his car around a tree. That's what I don't
Our
want.
only concern, Your Honor, is that we have had situations happen already where people who are on supervision
I understand. I get it, but I'm not going to,
and getting picked up, Judge.
I can't show favoritism. And
No, I understand.
me doing that when I don't do it for, it's,
Can our client potentially lead certain?
no, there's nothing that no. I mean, I'm okay with probation, but I'm not, sorry, Mario. Si tú tomas de nuevo, te voy a poner en la cárcel y no me importa qué excusa que tú tienes. Te voy a poner algo en tu tobillo ahora para ver si tomas de nuevo. ¿Me entiendes, Méndez? La próxima vez tú te quedes conmigo. No me importa qué excusa tienes. Toma asiento.
Vamos a escuchar y cuántas con
Mr. Villalobos,
Villalobos.
you're charged with driving while intoxicated, second offense. You are facing up to a year in jail. It's also elevated to above a 0.15 as well.
Realmente.
The state has moved to reduce this to a first offense. I want you to understand
Quiero que usted
how
entienda
lucky
que afortunadamente
you are, because had they not, there would be a minimum of jail time that you would be doing as a second offense. Do you understand?
¿Entiende?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
You have to understand that it is still a second offense. So
Es una
you ever get into a car and have the faintest smell of alcohol and get pulled over, an officer's going to run your record.
y un
They're going to say, if it walks like a duck and it talks like a duck, it's probably DWI again. And next time, what are you facing?
A ver, ¿qué es lo que va a subir?
What happens next time?
¿Qué pasa? ¿Qué pasa?
Caution.
¿Ya
No,
time? No,
no,
no.
prison.
Penitencia.
A minimum of 2 years in prison, a maximum of 10 years in prison.
10 años.
Do you understand?
¿Usted lo entiende?
Sí, señor.
Yes, sir.
Even if you had had a sip of alcohol, I wouldn't get into a car.
No se puede.
You're giving up a lot of rights by entering into this agreement. You give up the right to a trial, right to compel witnesses to testify on your behalf, confront and cross-examine your accusers. If you are not a citizen, there are immigration consequences. You can be deported, excluded from the country, denied naturalization under federal law. You give up the right to appeal. Once you plead guilty, this will go on your record. It will be there for the rest of your life.
Y para toda su vida.
Now, the agreement is 1 year in Harris County Jail to be probated for 12 months. You must do a repeat offender DWI education class. You must also do 2 victim impact panels. You must also do a TRAS. This is an evaluation to see what other conditions you may need. If they assess further
Yes, yes.
conditions, you must fulfill them. No breath test refusal. So while you're on this probation, if you get pulled over, an officer asks you to submit a breath test, you must do it. You must have a guardian interlock and 25 hours of community service. Do you have any children, Mr.
Yes.
Villalobos?
Yes.
If you do a
Sí.
parenting class, then I will waive the community service for you.
Yes.
You will now be required to also pay the DPS fines and fees and supervisory charges. If they had kept a DWI second, you would be facing a $6,000 surcharge. But because they are reducing to a first and below a 0.15, it is only a $3,000 surcharge. But I want you to understand that if you don't pay it,
Si no,
for every $100 you owe, you will sit 1 day in jail. Your client is extremely worried about your immigration status because if you go to jail, it's probably not going to end up well for you. Do you understand?
muy bien.
To this offense, guilty or not guilty. I'm going to find you guilty.
Culpable.
I'm going to follow the agreement. What is the total fines and fees? Trey? Total fines and fees. 400. You must report at least twice in person to the supervisory department. If by then you are in compliance with everything, I'll allow you to report via Zoom. But that doesn't mean that you get to just, I expect you to remain in complete compliance. If you do not, a warrant for your arrest will be issued. I'm going to put you in jail and I will bring you back out in Orange and we're going to talk about whether you violated this probation. If you do, you were looking at 1 year in jail. Do you understand?
Yes,
Se
sir.
lo doy una
All right.
$3,120.
So it's $3,520 you will owe. Somehow we have to get your attention. I hope it's only monetarily and not through being in jail. You understand? Or at the
Sure.
worst, killing someone. Get a clue when it could have cost you $40 to $50 with an Uber. Good luck, sir. Thanks, Mark. Take care, guys. Okay.